Hi, good afternoon. It's me again, another diary. I know I've been talking for a few weeks now about Alumma B and using that name, etc., etc. And I know some of you think it's a really nice name for the restaurant. And I kind of wanted to just talk about its history and why I decided to call it that. I have two heroes in my life, not superheroes, not Wolverine and Cyclops, but two human heroes, one being my mother and the other one being my sister. Now these are two incredible women who I've had the pleasure to know. If I had to tell you about my sister B, she, out of all my parents' children, I think was the most amazing. She was a nurse for over 30 odd years back home in Nigeria, and she never lost a patient, not one patient in the 30 years or 30 odd years she was a nurse. She started as a trainee nurse all the way up to a matron, and you know, she was just a really incredible woman. She was one of those people that if she had a problem with you, oh God, God help you. If she had a problem with you, she will blast you. If you had hair, it will come off your head. If you didn't have hair, your hair will grow. That's how much she will blast you, and that's it, then the storm is gone. When she say you're sorry, you'll never hear her mention it again. She'll never use it against you again. She'll never raise it again as a topic, as a subject. It will be just done and dusted. She was loving. She was kind, she was dynamic. You know, one person once described that when she walks into a room, the atmosphere changed. It's like she was one of those people who everybody wanted to talk to, everybody wanted to know, everybody just liked her. She had that magnetism, that kind of kindred spirit. She was just that kind of person. And I was her favorite brother, I know. I was baby bro, I was her favorite brother because there were 6 of us, and I'm the youngest of all 6, but I was the youngest boy and she was the youngest girl. So we kind of, I mean, you know, her birthday's what, the 4th of June, mine is the 4th of December, so it was just, you know, it was just natural that that was going to occur. Anyway, so that was my sister B. She was really amazing young lady. And then there was my mum. Now my mum, I'll tell you about her in a minute. My mum, I believe she came to the United Kingdom in 1956. Yeah, I think it was 1956. She came to the United Kingdom, but she had her 3 boys. She had 3 girls in Nigeria, 3 boys in the UK. Yeah. And she was one of these women who was devoted, loyal. She was married to my father for just over 64 years. And she was the gentle one. She was the one who was the water to my father's fire. And she kind of, she had a lot of love. She had a lot of love in her. She had a lot of love. And you know, my relationship with my mum was a very deep and close one, you know, very deep and close relationship. She trusted me implicitly. She relied on me, especially in her twilight years. You know, as she got older, I looked after my mum, my dad and my brother for about 25 years. So, you know, if she wanted anything, there was nothing that she would ask for. It didn't matter what I was doing. I would definitely have stopped what I was doing in order to do what she asked me or what she wanted. Normally it would be tin tomatoes, so I always remember that. You know, in the middle of a high-powered strategic meeting, and I get a phone call from mum thinking that there's an emergency, and I say, yes mum, what's up, how can I help? How are you? I say, I'm fine mum, I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. And then she'll say, and I'll say, okay, well, how can I help you? She goes, can you get me some tin tomatoes? I'm making some stew. That's okay, mum. No worries. When I finish my meeting, I will do that. Now, you know, I took care of all the stuff for her, shopping, cleaning, you know, whatever she needed, I was there to do that. But my mum's love, you know, it was one of those things where she used to talk to me. After time, it didn't seem like I was listening. In fact, I was listening to her, but I always thought I knew better. But what was really, really interesting was how much her words used to soothe me, or to calm me down, or keep me, you know, on an even keel. She always felt, I mean, maybe this is just really an Igbo thing or a Nigerian thing. You know, Nigerian mothers, they always feel they have to give you advice. You know, my son. She always be like, you know, my son. When you want to do something, always go on your knees and pray. Always ask God. Never you try to do anything without asking God for help first. That was always what she used to say to me, or at least tell me. Her relationship with God was tight. So yeah, so I mean, she had a lot of you know, she was a very kind woman. She would help anybody. She loved Igbo. She loved Nigerians. Period. She didn't care whether you were Igbo, Yoruba. She didn't care. She would just, if you needed her help, she would be there to help. So if there's anything my mum and my sister ever taught me, was how to love, and love completely. None of this kind of, you know, I'll give you only 50% if you give me 25% and I'll love you. No, it was always 100%. Give 100% if you're going to love someone or something. And, you know, so my mum's name was Alumma, and my sister's name was B. And I use the word was because in 2008 my sister B passed away, and in 2011 my mother passed away, and it was the most devastating experience of my life. I mean, I don't do depression. It's not even a general rule. I just don't do depression. But certainly I went so close in terms of when she passed. It was one of those things where I call my unimaginable pain. I call it my unimaginable pain, because nothing, I mean absolutely nothing, prepares you for that level of agony. Nothing on God's green earth. And you know, so I didn't care about much after that. You know, I just couldn't give. You know, I had a few projects that I had on the go, and I just couldn't give to it. It was, you know, the pain, the sadness was just all too consuming. She would come to me in my dreams, you know, for the first couple of weeks after she was buried, because I was, you know, I dealt with most of what had to be done in the UK, flying somebody back to Nigeria to have them buried. And you know, even that experience, and from anybody who whether you go back and forth to Nigeria on a regular basis, we all have the stories we can tell about what it's like with burying people back home, and the funerals, and you know, the politics and the family dynamics, you know, people who are full of hubris and selfishness, and you know, it became a complete pantomime. If I can imagine if my mum was watching, but you know, if she was alive watching her funeral, she would have just taken her stick and beaten it off everybody that was there, because even members of the family, you know, it became a complete occasion for them to just posture and pantomime. It was quite a stark and painful experience. Really was. I mean, it was quite a bitter pill. But you know, I've moved past it. As you can see, I'm not angry as I speak to it, because it took me 2 years. It took me 2 years to talk about this subject without getting angry. I mean, I could talk lovely about my mum, but up until the point I will talk about her funeral, then the anger would come. I've moved past that now, and this is why, because you know, people were saying, what is the, I never got to say goodbye to my mum at the funeral. You know, I don't know, typically over here, members of the family get up and they would say what they needed to say, and because I knew more about my mum's life than anybody else, apart from my dad, from anybody else, there were certain members of my family who felt just because they were older, they had to be the one to be seen to have known her the best, and had kind of set up the whole funeral arrangement back home that I didn't get my piece. I didn't get to say goodbye to my mum. I didn't get to say it in the church, as it were, to tell my story, to tell her story. That's just, I guess, village politics. But one of the things, she died on the 25th of September and 2011, and one of the things that was interesting was people kept saying to me, okay, every time that date comes up, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for her? What are you going to do to commemorate her? And I could never really think of anything. So I said, plant a tree, have a drink, but these things really wouldn't really be reflective of my mum. Now, what is reflective of my mum is definitely love. What's reflective of my sister is definitely love. I mean, she died in February the 8th, 2008. And what's reflective of them is love. And the thing about restaurants, especially when it comes to food. Now, my mum and my sister can cook. I mean, they could cook. I'm surprised I'm not 5 times the size I am, but they could cook. And we all know, ladies and gentlemen, we all know this as a truism, that the secret ingredient to any food that is cooked that is amazing is love. You could, how many times you said, yeah, there's love in this food. There is love in this food. So I thought Alumma B will be the perfect kind of, not a memorial, but a kind of a continuation of their love, i.e. in the food that you will eat, in the experience that you would have at Alumma B's would be love, 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 and more love. That you coming out of your home to come and have a meal at Alumma B's, you know that you will be taken care of. You know that whoever is going to cook that food that's going to remain in your stomach or in your body is cooked from that kind of deep love that that person has for cooking, that the love that that Alumma B expounds. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so amazing. So I thought it would be fitting that that Alumma B will be the monument, if you like, of the kind of people my mother and my dear sister are. So yeah, so really that's a brief, if not, well, okay, more than a brief history or understanding of where this whole concept of Alumma B as a restaurant, as a reflection of my 2 heroes, my two heroes. Their energy will definitely be there, and yeah, so I guess while I was driving I thought, why don't I just share this with you? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't go on too much and for too long, and that you and I hope to see you there soon, actually. So signing off, take care, lots of love.